With a release date for GTA 6 now officially confirmed, and given that we now know that it will be set in Vice City, I decided to make another mission facts video for GTA Vice City, one of my favourite games of all time. The first mission facts video that I made back in 2020 only contained one fact about every mission, but in this video I'm going to give you a more comprehensive list of multiple facts about every mission, including some cut content and a few hints and tips to make some of the missions easier to complete. This video was inspired by Matt J's GTA 3 mission facts and hacks video, so a huge shout out to him. By the way, this video will cover the PC version of the game, so some of the information in this video might be slightly different on other versions, including the Japanese version. Last but not least, if you're having trouble understanding my accent, this video comes with subtitles, so feel free to switch them on. And now, without further ado, let's begin. The first mission is called In the Beginning, but its title never appears in the bottom right corner of the screen. The only way to see the title is by saving your game and then looking at the save files. The opening cutscene in Marco's Bistro is meant to be taking place in Liberty City, but it's actually in a hidden room in the Ocean View Hotel in Vice City.
But it's all drugs, Sonny. None of the families will touch that shit.
In the next cutscene at the airport, you'll see a plane landing in the background, specifically on the curved runway in the northern part of the airport. Given where it lands and how fast it's moving, I really don't think the pilot would be able to pull this off realistically. However, let's take a look at the map from the beta version of the game. As you can see, the curved runway that I mentioned used to be straight, not curved. This beta runway can also be seen if you use a mod to move the camera into the main land when Tommy is in the East Island. So it looks like this plane is a leftover from the beta version. On the topic of cut content, there was originally going to be some more dialogue during this cutscene. Ken would have mentioned what Vic and Lance were doing between the events of Vice City Stories and this game. The Admiral that Ken drives during the cutscenes looks different to the one that you see during gameplay. In the cutscenes, the car's interior is beige instead of dark grey, the seats have headrests, and the wheel rims are different. In the cutscene at the docks, Lance and Vic are both meant to be in the helicopter, but Lance is the only person who can be seen inside it. There's no sign of Vic, until he just teleports. The dialogue outside Ken's office was originally going to be longer, and the cutscene would have been different too. A link to the rendered cutscene can be found in the description. Next up is an old friend. Once again, the Marco's Bistro interior is in that hidden room in the Ocean View Hotel. By the way, the bistro is only fully rendered during this cutscene and the intro. Outside of those two cutscenes, it's not fully rendered, because all you can see are the partially rendered saloon doors and nothing else. If you save after completing an old friend, the save file will still be called In the Beginning. Now let's start the missions for Ken Rosenberg, the first of which is The Party.
Nice bike.
Originally, Tommy wasn't the only person who likes that bike.
Wow, I really dig your motorcycle.
Yeah, babe, just picked it up from Hal and Pete's.
Some extra cars are scripted to spawn at the marina in this mission. If you get in one of them and park it in the pink marker, a new car will spawn where you found it. At the party, one of the guests is Pastor Richards. This is the only time he appears in person. We only hear his voice on the radio. On your way to the Pole Position Club, the dialogue between Tommy and Mercedes will differ depending on your vehicle. If you're on a bike, Mercedes will ask one question.
Will you be working for my father?
Maybe.
So difficult having a rich and powerful father. Vamos.
But if it's not a bike, she'll ask two questions. She'll even ask the second question when she's not even sitting next to Tommy.
Will you be working for my father?
Maybe.
You mind me resting my hand in your lap?
Maybe.
So difficult having a rich and powerful father. Vamos.
Once the mission is passed, the soiree outfit is delivered to Raphael's in Ocean Beach. Like all the clothes pickups in this game, collecting the outfit doesn't cost you any money, but $100 will be added to your fashion budget stat, which doesn't happen when you first get the outfit during the mission. Passing certain missions in this game will cause some items to appear inside the Ocean View Hotel and Tommy's mansion. Once the party is passed, a suit bag will appear in the hotel. Moving on to Back Alley Brawl. After you've confronted Leo, the chef, if you run a certain distance down the alley, he'll stop chasing you and walk back to his original location before using his phone again. If you get close enough, he'll come after you again. You can skip the confrontation cutscene by either killing him from a distance or driving towards him and bailing out. But no matter how you kill him, Tommy will always be out of breath when the cutscene starts. If you fail the mission by destroying Lance's car, he won't disappear. He'll just behave like an ordinary pedestrian. And if you attack him, he'll shoot at you with his pistol. Originally, during the drive in Ocean Beach, Lance was going to talk to you about the Pole Position Club.
Tommy, every man needs a little R&R once in a while. This here is the Pole Position Strip Club. You might want to drop in sometime.
There are a few more unused voice clips for this mission.
We got to get the hell out of here. Come on, man, drive more careful. Hey, watch what you're doing. Hey, where we going now? What are we doing now?
The third mission for Ken is Jury Fury, in which you need to intimidate two jurors, but don't kill them. We know the mission fails if you kill the juror in Ocean Beach, but what about the one in Vice Point? He only appears during a cutscene once you've wrecked his car, so how can we possibly kill him to see what happens? Well, it's actually quite easy if you have the right weapons, and if you know where he spawns. I got a flamethrower and regular grenades. This is where the juror spawns, so stand near there, throw a grenade at his car, then very quickly turn around, switch to the flamethrower and start firing in this direction. If done correctly, the grenade will destroy the car, triggering the cutscene in the process, and the flames that you were firing will burn the juror to death during the cutscene. But the mission doesn't fail. According to some unused voice clips, this juror was originally going to lock himself inside his car, just like the juror in Ocean Beach.
Unbelievable! Damn it! What the hell? Hey, that's not nice! This doesn't seem right!
And here are some more unused voice clips for this mission.
Okay, dance over. Beat it.
Okay, man, I get the message.
Get out of the way.
Also, as you probably gathered, even though the game suggests using melee weapons to wreck the cars, you can use almost any weapon you like. A common speedrun tactic is to use the shotgun, which is devastating against vehicles at close range. You can also shoot the shotgun faster by alternating between standing and crouching. One of the rarest vehicles in the game appears during this mission, the Spand Express. It will appear if the juror in Ocean Beach tries to escape. It looks almost identical to a mule, but its grille and wheel rims are different, and it has Spand Express liveries on the sides. This vehicle only appears during this mission and the next one, Riot. Getting the coveralls from Raphael's is optional. However, if you choose not to get the coveralls, some of the workers will attack you instead of each other, even if you don't provoke them. If you do get the coveralls, the workers will only attack you if you attack them. Here's something else which is optional. You don't actually need to start a riot, because once all 3 vans are destroyed, the mission will pass. You can shoot the explosive barrels and the vans themselves through the fence. The workers never drop money if they die during the mission. But once the mission is over, they will drop money when they die. Once all the workers are dead, the security guards will come after you. The workers have some unused voice clips.
Burn the management! Kill the bosses! Fight! More holiday! Less work!
Viva la revolution! Rich management sucks! More money!
The coveralls outfit will be delivered to Tooled Up in the North Point Mall once the mission is passed. Collecting it will add $80 to your fashion budget stat. But this doesn't happen if you get the outfit during the mission, just like the soiree outfit. Riot is also the name of a mission in San Andreas, but unlike in Vice City, in which a riot only takes place in a small area, the riot in San Andreas takes place all over the city of Los Santos. Now we move on to the missions for Colonel Cortez, starting with Treacherous Swine. Cortez gives you a chainsaw at the start of this mission. If you replace the chainsaw with a different melee weapon before you confront Gonzalez, you'll get the chainsaw back automatically when you do confront him. The mission will fail if you let Gonzalez run all the way to the police station in Washington Beach, but given how slowly he runs, you have no excuse to fail the mission in this way. Once he's dead, you get a 2-star wanted level, which the game instructs you to lose by going to the pay and spray, but you don't have to go there, because the mission will pass as soon as your wanted level is completely gone, no matter how you do it, so you can collect police bribes or a clothes pickup if you want. Moving on to Mall Shootout, in which we go to the Washington Mall to meet a courier whose name is Pierre Laponce. His name is never mentioned in the game, but it was shown on the game's official Flash website, which has since been taken down. If you attack the courier before triggering the cutscene, he'll shoot at you with an Uzi, but when you do trigger the cutscene, it will still play as normal, as if nothing happened.
The rain, she's très wet this time of the year.
It's possible to kill the courier before he gets on his bike. Skip the cutscene, jump up onto this low wall, then drop down, but don't jump down, and press the jump button as soon as you land to cancel the roll animation. You can only cancel the roll animation if you fall from up high without jumping down. Now sprint after the courier and gun him down before he gets to his bike. It's best to use a gun that you can shoot while running, like the pistol.
You've got to do better, Mr. Snell.
Does the mission fail if you take too long to kill the courier? Yes, if he gets to this building in Vice Point. The mission will also fail if the courier falls in the water, because the guidance chips are not waterproof. If you destroy his bike without killing him, he'll whip out his Uzi again.
Use my dirt. You cannot have the guidance chips.
Next up, Guardian Angels. Unlike Back Alley Brawl, you won't fail this mission if you destroy Lance's car. Unlike the guidance chips, Diaz's money is waterproof. In fact, the only way to destroy the money is by destroying the enemy's bike when he's still on it. If you destroy his bike without killing him, he'll just run away. He won't even fight back if you attack him. Diaz's Admiral is bulletproof, fireproof, explosion-proof and damage-proof. There are 2 ways to obtain it. You can fail the mission on purpose by killing Diaz, and then it's all yours. Or, if you don't want to fail the mission, switch to classic controls, and then as soon as the mission is passed, follow the same route that Diaz took when he drove away, and the car will be parked on the road, unlocked for the taking. If you're playing on PC, I believe this will only work if your controls are set to classic controls, not standard controls. This Voodoo and Cuban Hermes have pop-proof tyres, but if you store them in a garage, the tyres will go back to normal. There are some unused voice clips for this mission.
What's the matter with you, man? Get on the roof across the yard before they show up. Damn, what you trying to do, kill me? Tommy, I'll stay here and watch over Diaz. Big heads!
Moving on to the missions for Diaz, and the first one is the chase. If you activate the cheat which lets you play as a random pedestrian, your character will briefly change back to Tommy during the loser cutscene. This doesn't happen if you use a cheat to play as a story character like Ken Rosenberg. If you manage to knock the thief off the rooftops, he'll get totally confused. Sometimes he'll end up falling under the map and respawning further down the street. Sometimes the mission will just fail after a while. And sometimes he'll eventually stop running. I think it depends on exactly when you knock him off the roof. You can get ahead of the thief by mashing the sprint button instead of holding it down. Doing this will skip the cutscene in which he shoots the barrels. And not only that, but you'll also get the opportunity to steal the BF injection. Different things will happen depending on your actions. If you steal the BF injection and do nothing else, the thief will take the wheel and drive himself. If he gets in via the passenger side, as long as you're driving fast enough, Tommy won't get pushed out. The thief will clip through Tommy's body. Weird. You won't be able to control the vehicle at this point, but you can get out by holding down the exit vehicle button. If you drive the BF injection against a wall and keep the driver's side blocked, the thief will stay in the passenger seat when he gets in, and you can take him to his destination yourself, which saves a lot of time. Just make sure you're driving quickly enough when he gets in, otherwise it won't work properly. Another way to save time is by stealing the BF injection and destroying it without killing the thief. After a short time, the thief will hijack another vehicle and drive to his destination using a more direct route instead of going all the way around the mall. By the way, this BF injection has two special features. One, it's heavy, which means it can push other vehicles out of the way without slowing down. And two, it's waterproof, which means when you drive into the water, the vehicle won't get destroyed and Tommy won't drown. Sadly, both of these features will be lost if you store the BF injection in a garage. Guess what? Some more unused voice clips.
Hope you fall and break your neck! Sick of these pricks.
Moving on to Phnom Penh 86. If you look closely at the start of the opening cutscene, you can see that Lance is already standing right next to the stairs before Diaz calls him over. And by using a mod to move the camera anywhere you want, you'll see that he even reacts when Diaz throws the vase.
What do you think you're doing? These pricks have failed me miserably.
In the next cutscene, the helicopter is a different shade of red compared to what it looks like during gameplay. If you look to the rear when the helicopter flies under the bridge, you'll see a Spand Express worker jumping to his death. If you input a weapon cheat when you're in the helicopter, the M60 will be replaced with a different weapon. The minigun makes things ridiculously easy.
Damn, this is a war zone!
If you give yourself a flamethrower and pull the trigger, you'll set the helicopter on fire, Lance will crash it and run away, but the dialogue will keep playing. And the mission won't fail if you kill Lance with the flamethrower.
Where the hell are we headed anyway? Prawn Island! You ever fire one of those from a whirly? No, I'll get a bit of practice on the way though.
As for the rocket launcher, don't bother, because you can't use it.
Damn, this is a war zone! Let's take out some of those guns!
On the way to Prawn Island, you'll pass by a couple of helicopters. But who's flying them? Yes, they're being flown by members of the Sharks, the very same gang that you go up against in this mission. Once you're on foot, Lance will keep hovering the helicopter above the film studio. The mission will fail if you destroy the helicopter, but what happens if you shoot Lance out of the helicopter without destroying it? The mission doesn't fail. What do you mean there aren't enough unused voice clips?
See those marker boys? Try taking out the lights. You sure is better at shooting than talking. Thanks, you're a real charmer yourself. I know, Tommy. You cool with some music? Ah, I love this record.
Once that mission is passed, we get a call from Cortez who needs our help, so let's do his fourth mission. Sir, yes sir. There are multiple ways to steal the tank. You can use a vehicle to block the tank's route, which makes one of the soldiers get out of the tank to drive your vehicle out of the way.
Halt! Get that civilian vehicle out of our way. Sir, moving vehicle, sir. Civilian in the tank, stop it.
Or you can wait for the convoy to get to this deli in Little Havana. One of the soldiers will get out of the tank to buy some donuts.
Go get some donuts, soldier. Sir, yes, sir. Convoy, halt. Civilian, move away from civilian in the tank, stop it.
Or you can kill the gunner on top of the tank, which will make the driver get out to investigate.
Convoy, halt. What's up with the gunner? Don't know, sir. We're taking enemy fire. Defensive position. Stop it.
Even if you kill every single soldier, when you get in the tank, you'll still hear someone saying, "Civilian in the tank, stop him."
Civilian in the tank, stop him.
You get 3 stars when you get in the tank. Don't bother trying to lose these stars, because you can't. A self-destruct security protocol is triggered when you get in the tank. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, Delta India Echo spells the word die. You'll fail the mission if the tank gets to this warehouse in Vice Port, but only if you're not inside the warehouse. Here's what happens if you're inside the warehouse when the tank arrives. Please excuse my atrocious aim.
Objective completed. Tune to set. Let's go eat some donuts. Defensive position.
The warehouse can only be accessed during this mission, and it appears to be unfinished because it looks like the roof is floating in the air, and these doors are missing their textures on one side. I also saw this doorway, which looks kinda similar to the doorways from which enemies respawn infinitely during missions like Hog Tied. So perhaps originally this warehouse would have played a bigger role in the game. This is the earliest point in the game in which you can get a tank without cheating, because at this point the highest wanted level that you can get is 5 stars, not 6. If you want to store this tank in a garage, you need to buy Hyman Condo, which is the only safe house at this point in the game which has a garage large enough to accommodate a tank. Once you bought the safe house, leave the tank inside a garage, wait for it to self-destruct, let the door close and reopen, and it's all yours. The next mission for Diaz is the fastest boat. Originally, Jethro and Dwayne from the boatyard cutscene were going to appear in this mission.
Don't shoot, dude.
Oh, what's in this stuff?
Hey, he's taking the boat. Bummer.
Some square's stealing the boat, man!
You don't have to use the switch to lower the boat into the water. Just stand right next to the crane and press the enter vehicle button. You will instantly get in the boat, which will automatically drop into the water, allowing you to drive away. Once the mission is passed, the boat doesn't disappear, which allows you to do whatever you like with it. Does Diaz want this boat or not? Well, either way, the boat is still used in the next mission, Supply and Demand. Before you get to the yacht, the Squallow is bulletproof, fireproof and explosion proof.
Why in the hell are we running errands for? The more we learn now,
A cutscene was supposed to play when you get to the yacht, but it's not used in the final version of the game. Here's what it would have looked like.
That's the last of them. I'm gonna start her up. I think we got some new friends.
Speaking of unused stuff, here are some unused voice clips.
Yeah, take them out. They're getting desperate. Do you know where we're going? Are we lost? They're matchwood and fish food. We made it. Those other boats aren't V.I.P. class. My damn feet are wet. We're taking on water. Bridge coming up. Bailouts is about to blow. Good shooting.
Is it possible to get in the yacht and drive it yourself? Yes. However, even if you drive the yacht away, the mission will still fail when the enemy boats arrive. Once the mission is passed, your assault rifle gets taken away from you. However, you can rectify this by simply equipping your assault rifle before you touch the pink marker at the jetty. Next up is the first and only mission for Kent Paul, Death Row. At the end of some of the mission's opening cutscenes in this game, you can hear Tommy talking to himself, which is also known as monologue. There's an unused monologue for Death Row.
Lance, you stupid moron. Still, it gives me an opportunity to deal with Diaz.
There are also a couple of unused voice clips for Diaz's men in this mission.
Do you think that you can get away with this? You are just a little worm under Diaz's shiny boot.
At the hospital, Tommy says Star Island, not Starfish Island.
get patched up and meet me on the bridge to Star Island, okay?
Okay, I got you.
Vice City is heavily based on Miami in real life, and there is actually a place in Miami called Star Island. Allegedly, Starfish Island was called Star Island during the game's development. This mission doesn't have a cash reward, but that might be because Diaz's men drop a shitload of money when you kill them at the junkyard. Completing Death Row unlocks Cortez's fifth and final mission, All Hands on Deck. The enemies in this mission only seem to attack Tommy, even though Cortez is meant to be the one they're after. Even if you kill all of Cortez's men, you'll still hear them shouting.
Portside! Portside! Their bridge up ahead! Oh my god, they've got a helicopter!
The bridge section will trigger automatically once you've killed the first group of enemies, but what happens if you don't kill them and just let them follow you? Cortez's yacht will sail all the way to the bridge during gameplay. Not only that, but you won't see the yacht during the cutscene because it plays before the yacht has reached the correct location. You'll then have to wait for the yacht to get to the bridge. If one of the enemy boats gets close enough, you can steal it and make your way to dry land. But if you get in a road vehicle or an aircraft, Cortez will die for some reason.
Oh, shoot the helicopter!
Before the mission is over, Cortez's speedboat is mostly red on top.
A token of my gratitude.
But once the mission is passed, its colour changes. Guess what? More unused voice clips.
They've got a helicopter!
Mercedes, that girl will be the death of me.
Damn cockroach! I have diplomatic immunity! Don't shoot, I'm a colonel!
Now it's time to kill Diaz in the mission Rubout. In the opening cutscene, Tommy and Lance get some guns from the back of a car. Turns out it's not the same car that Lance shows up in. Oh jeez, there are 2 Lances. One's bad enough. When you enter the mansion via the basement, you'll encounter some enemies on these stairs. But if you enter via the roof, those enemies will not spawn. As you're making your way through the mansion corridors, Lance will say different things depending on which floor you're on.
Beautiful high ceilings in here. Hey Tommy, can my room have a view of the bay?
Believe it or not, it's possible to kill Diaz without triggering the boss fight with him. Just keep sprinting into this black area to the left of the mansion's front door and you'll clip through the wall. Although doing this will cause the mansion's interior to not load, Diaz will still be in the office at the top of the stairs, so you can just make your way up there and kill him. You also won't have to worry about the enemies inside the mansion because they only spawn when the interior is loaded. If you choose to kill Diaz like this, to pass the mission, you'll need to head up to the next floor and then make your way to the corridor that leads to the staircase at the back of the mansion. Even more unused voice clips.
Lance! I need cover! Lance! Go on, Tommy. I'll be okay. I'm pinned down! I got you covered, Tommy! Hey, this is a real nice herbaceous border.
Tommy, man, we did it! We're in charge of this place now. We can take over. You and me. Vance and Vassetti, the 2 Vs. I like that.
Originally, you would have received a phone call from Mercedes congratulating you for killing Diaz.
Tommy, I heard you killed Ricardo Diaz.
No, there was an unfortunate fire at his mansion. I think he might have burnt to death in his acrylic shirt.
Tommy, I'm so proud of you. I knew you were a real man. He was an awful trouser stain of a man. You make me so proud to be your friend. I know you're going to be busy trying to take over this town, but don't forget about me, you hear?
Once the mission is passed, a broken hidden package will appear in the Ocean View Hotel with some white powder leaking out of it, which I'm guessing is cocaine. Now let's begin the missions for Tommy's newly acquired empire, starting with Shakedown. After smashing every window of one store, if you run a certain distance away from that store, the windows will come back. Smashing them again will not affect your wanted level. Once you've smashed all the windows, the mission will only pass if you're still inside the mall. This means that if you go outside before the voice clips finish playing, the mission won't pass, so stay inside. Once the mission is passed, you'll be able to buy the asset properties and you'll get a phone call from Avery about it.
There's a lot of opportunity in this town if you own the right real estate. You catch my drift?
But originally, Ken would have called you instead.
Hey, Tommy, I thought you might need some business advice. Once you got the operation up and running, you'll need to drop by and take the week's cash. Let the guys think they got the run of the place and they'll be shaving the profits, okay?
I know how to handle business, Ken, okay?
Okay, I know, I was just, telling you, I know, just keeping it sharp, baby. Keeping it sharp, oh yeah.
Whatever, Ken, whatever.
Passing the mission will also cause the pictures inside Tommy's mansion to become vandalised. Shakedown is also the name of a mission in Vice City Stories. Both missions involve persuading shop owners to pay protection.
Please, I don't want any trouble. That's why you need us. Please, this is crazy.
Next up, Bar Brawl. According to the mission's code, Avery was originally going to appear in the opening cutscene. Surprisingly, the mission doesn't fail if you kill the bar owner. There's an oceanic part to DBP security with some suitcases in the back. The cases will disappear once the mission is over. When you're chasing the guards on the bikes, a Securicar comes after you. Destroy it to get some bonus cash. The mission doesn't fail if you kill Mike, and he still appears in the next mission, which is Copland.
You moron! What were you thinking?
If you enter the North Point Mall before getting the cop uniforms, you'll get 5 stars and the soldiers guarding the cafe will shoot at you. If you kill these soldiers and then get the cop uniforms, your wanted level will be locked at 4 stars. But you won't get attacked by law enforcement, although cops will still deploy spike strips. You will also get attacked by the cops who are guarding the mall with assault rifles. You will also blow your cover if you activate a change character cheat after getting the cop uniforms, although this time you'll get 4 stars, not 5. Have you ever wondered why pedestrians sometimes run up to the closed lockup door? It's because the 2 cops inside the lockup don't disappear right away. They get decapitated instead, and pedestrians often run up to dead bodies in this game. And yes, it turns out that the lockup door's texture is missing on one side. Although the game tells you to go to the mall in a cop car, you can use any vehicle you like, including a helicopter. The bomb's detonation timer was originally longer than 5 seconds.
Okay, timers are set. 10 seconds and ticking.
10 seconds! We got to get the hell out of here!
Okay, timers are set. 15 seconds and ticking.
15 seconds? We got to get the hell out of here!
If you plant the bomb without taking Lance with you, he will automatically warp to your position when the bomb explodes. If you and Lance are still inside the cafe when the bomb explodes, you won't die. You'll get teleported outside Gash. Right, there are 3 missions to do for Avery Carrington. The first one is 4 Iron. The inside of Avery's limo is more detailed during the cutscene.
Hell, my daddy used to say, never look a gift horse in the mouth.
And that's not the only thing that's different about it. In the cutscene, the limo is actually green and white instead of black, and 2 of its wheels are missing. This limo is also used for the opening cutscenes in Demolition Man and 2-Bit Hit.
Don, this here's Tommy Vercetti, the latest gunslinger to come to these parts.
Before you start 4 Iron, the gates to the Leaf Links Golf Club are locked. Once you've started the mission, the gates will stay unlocked for the rest of the game, even if you fail the mission. If you go through the security gate at Leaf Links, you'll be forced to leave your weapons behind, except melee weapons. However, you can quite simply park a vehicle against this ramp and use it to jump over, allowing you to kill the target with any weapon you like. Alternatively, if you have a helicopter, just fly in. If you leave one of the caddies close enough to the water, the target will accidentally drown himself when he tries to escape. Once the mission is passed, the country club outfit will be delivered to Leaf Links. Collecting it will add $40 to your fashion budget stat, which, once again, doesn't happen when you first get the outfit during the mission. The target has an unused voice clip.
That'll teach you to come to my club, throwing your weight around.
Moving on to everybody's favourite mission, not Demolition Man. Don't drop the bombs in the water, because they don't float, they sink. The security guards have a couple of unused voice clips.
I don't know what this thing is doing, but it's non-union. I want to see what makes this son of a bitch tick.
It's implied that Demolition Man was originally going to be the third mission for Avery, not the second. In the game's code, 4-Iron is called Surge 1, Demolition Man is called Surge 3, and 2-Bit Hit is called Surge 2. Also, in the folder that contains the mission's audio files, the names of the ones for 4-Iron begin with Tex 1, the ones for Demolition Man begin with Tex 3, and the one for 2-Bit Hit begins with Tex 2. Once this mission is passed, a remote controller and an RC helicopter box will appear in the living room in Tommy's mansion. The box has a picture of an RC Raider on it, despite the fact that you use an RC Goblin in Demolition Man. I'll talk more about that later. And now for 2-Bit Hit. Donald Love from GTA 3 makes an appearance during this mission's opening cutscene. Listen to what Avery says.
Now nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war. Except maybe a disaster like a biblical plague or something, but that may be going too far in this case.
In the mission Wakagashira Wipeout in GTA 3, Donald repeats what Avery said in Vice City.
Nothing drives down real estate prices like a good old-fashioned gang war. Apart from an outbreak of plague, but that might be going too far in this case.
And not only that, but both Wakagashira Wipeout and 2-Bit Hit involve disguising yourself as a rival gang member. In most missions that involve changing your clothes, all the clothes pickups disappear, but that doesn't happen in 2-Bit Hit, which means you'll fail the mission if you kill the gang lord when you're not wearing the Havana outfit. Unless they spot you before you change your clothes. The same things will happen if you activate a change character cheat during this mission. When you're wearing the Havana outfit during this mission, Haitians who spawn as pedestrians will attack you. Strangely, if you change out of the Havana outfit, they'll still attack you. This mission marks the appearance of another rare vehicle, the Romero's hearse. This is the only time in the game in which this vehicle will appear without cheating. Sadly, it's not possible to drop explosive coffins if you manage to steal this hearse, but if it's any consolation, this hearse is fireproof. According to an unused voice clip, one of the enemies in this mission is called Francois.
He killed Francois!
The Havana outfit is delivered to the streetwear and tattoo parlour in Little Havana once this mission is passed. Collecting it will add $70 to your fashion budget stat, which, as always, doesn't happen when you first get the outfit in the mission. However, depending on when you complete the mission, you might not be able to collect the outfit. You see, during the missions Copland and No Escape, all the clothes pickups disappear, and then once you pass those missions, the Havana outfit is put in the wrong place, specifically behind an invisible wall. To rectify this, you must complete Copland and No Escape, and then complete 2-Bit Hit. Once 2-Bit Hit is passed, you get a phone call from Umberto Rubina. Originally, the phone conversation would have been much different.
Hello? Is this Mr. Tommy Versetti?
Yeah.
Well, I hear through the vine of grapes you are the man when someone's got a vermin infestation.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I got a real vermin infestation. Haitians everywhere. My name is Umberto Rubina, and I want you to meet me at the Cafe Rubina as soon as you can. Cause I tell you, these damn Haitians have gone too far this time.
If you go inside Tommy's mansion after passing 2-Bit Hit, you'll find a shovel at the front door. With all of Avery's missions completed, we can now begin the missions for Umberto. The first one is Stunt Boat Challenge, which is the only mission for Umberto which does not involve fighting an enemy gang. This mission has a bonus cash opportunity. When you hit the first ramp, you'll jump over the golf course where some golfers are hanging out. If you kill the man in the pink shirt on the left, you'll get $100. You can either crush him with your boat by driving slowly enough, or simply get out of the boat and shoot him. Don't bother trying to collect the checkpoints in a different boat because the mission will fail. Completing Stunt Boat Challenge unlocks anti-Poulet's missions. The first one is Juju Scramble. At the first stash, the SWAT officer says, "Don't move a muscle, chump."
Don't move a muscle, chump.
Regular cops sometimes say this when they're chasing you.
Don't move a muscle, chump.
The SWAT officer with the nightstick will also drop an Uzi when you kill him, but he only uses his nightstick, not the Uzi. Stay away from the nightstick guy, because he can bust you. At the second and third stashes, killing one of the SWAT officers with the MP5s will immediately cause the other guy to steal the stash, no matter how much time is left on the clock. If someone steals a stash, he'll get in the nearest unoccupied vehicle and drive off. Don't destroy the vehicle when he's inside it, otherwise the stash will get destroyed. Moving on to Bombs Away. There's a very easy way to pass this mission. Once you're in the Top Fun van, hold down the exit vehicle button during the cutscene. If done correctly, you'll get out of the van when the cutscene ends, allowing you to kill the enemies without using the planes. They won't attack you when you do this, so you're perfectly safe. They also won't attack you if you use a plane to run them over without dropping any bombs on them. Next up, the final mission for Auntie Poulet, Dirty Lickins. In the other two missions for Auntie Poulet, she makes Tommy drink spiked tea to force him to do what she wants, but in this mission he doesn't drink anything and still does what she asks. However, if you look closely and listen carefully, you can tell that she's cooking something.
I'm looking for somebody around here.
You're looking hungry, Tommy.
Do I know you?
Hush now. One more thing and I can let you go, Tommy. My boys can war with them Cuban boys, but no guns. But the Cubans have a surprise coming. While they fight in the streets, you take this rifle and kill them in the hubbub. No one sees you, no one hears you.
So it's very likely that the smell of her concoction is enough to influence Tommy's actions. Even though you get a sniper rifle for this mission, you can use any firearm you like, even the rocket launcher. You must kill the enemies from the rooftop with the pink marker on it. Even if you kill them from the roof of a taller building, the mission will still fail. Let's continue the missions for Umberto. Next up is Cannon Fodder. At the start of this mission, a van can be found in the alley just east of the cafe. Strangely, the van will sometimes disappear from this alley when you try to pick up the Cubans using a vehicle that isn't big enough. The Stinger part outside the factory is booby-trapped, so don't get in it. If you take too long to kill the sniper, he'll also kill your reinforcements. And whatever you do, don't run down the alley yourself, otherwise the sniper will kill you instantly, no matter how much health and armor you have. But what happens if you get a helicopter and fly to the roof? He doesn't shoot you when you're up here, not even if you attack him. During the drugs van section, the mission doesn't fail if you kill any of your allies, including Rico. If you fail the mission by destroying the drugs van, the message on the screen says, "You fool, we needed that car," which implies that originally the drugs vehicle was a car, not a van. A box can be seen underneath the drugs van. Presumably this box contains the drugs, but for some reason it's clipping through the underside of the van. The box disappears once the mission is over. Moving on to Naval Engagement. In this mission's opening cutscene, Umberto Rubina's voice actor, Danny Trejo, mispronounces Umberto's surname.
What's your problem?
They're laughing at me, Tommy, at me, Umberto Rubino. They're doing whatever they like.
If you have brass knuckles in your inventory, they'll get taken away from you when you arrive at the deal. But why does that happen? It's because of this line in the mission's code. This line of code attaches Tommy to a specific vehicle, in this case Rico's boat, during this cutscene. For this line of code, you also need to choose a weapon for Tommy to be holding when he's attached to the vehicle. For example, in the code for Phnom Penh 86, the weapon number is 32, which is, yep, the M60. But for Naval Engagement, Rockstar chose weapon number 0, the fist. And because the fist is in the same weapon slot as the brass knuckles, that's why your brass knuckles get taken away from you. If the weapon number in that line of code was anything else, your brass knuckles would stay with you. After you've collected all the cases, a couple more Haitians arrive. If there are any sharks still alive at this point in the mission, they'll sometimes shoot at the Haitians instead of you. When you walk into the pink marker at the end of the mission, Tommy runs inside the cafe before being teleported to the alley outside. But if you ride a bike inside the cafe to bypass the marker, then get off your bike and touch the marker from inside, the game will still think you're in the cafe when you get teleported to the alley. As you can see, the game's outside world isn't rendering correctly. This is because when the player enters certain buildings, like Cafe Rubina for example, the game loads the interiors universe, which is basically a much lower quality version of the entire city. In this case, I didn't leave the cafe properly by going through its doorway to come out of the interiors universe. Instead, the game teleported me directly out of the building. To rectify this, we quite simply need to find an interior to enter and then exit, which will make things go back to normal. The final mission for Umberto is Trojan Voodoo. Remember that alley just east of the cafe? Well, in this mission, a voodoo can be found there, not a van. If you abandon Pepe and then regroup with him while driving a voodoo, one of his voice clips will play twice. If you set the other voodoos on fire before you park in the pink marker, the Cubans will get out and run away. The empty cars will then drive themselves to the factory.
I'm going to plant the bomb. Cover me. You want more of it?
But what happens if you use one of those empty voodoos to access the factory?
Vamos. Vamos indeed. Follow my compadres.
The game will teleport you to the alley. At this point, your driving controls will be disabled, but you can rectify this by getting out of the car and getting back in. But make sure you leave the door open when you get out, otherwise you'll be locked out of the car. Then, when you touch the pink marker in the alley, the AI will take control of the car again. And as you can see, Pepe can't get back in the car because the passenger door is locked. But surprisingly, the mission doesn't fail.
Going to plant the bomb. Cover me.
This mission contains a couple of other oddities regarding failure conditions. After you park in the pink marker in the alley, if you get out of your car before the Haitians open the gate, the mission will fail, but the wrong message appears at the bottom of the screen. And here's the other oddity. After you've planted all 3 bombs, you're supposed to escape by going up these stairs. Whatever you do, don't go up these stairs before you've planted the bombs. This will also happen if you climb over the gate. Much like the final part of Cannon Fodder, this mission won't fail if you kill any of your allies during the bomb planting section. Rock and roll, man. Let's begin the missions for Love Fist. The first one is Love Juice. This is another mission that has an unused monologue.
Rock and roll, huh? Oh, don't make me laugh.
Originally, Tommy would have spoken to the dealer when you meet him.
Looking for something special? I got what you need.
It's for Love Fist.
There are 4 ways to destroy the Love Juice. Destroy his bike when he's still on it, kill him with fire, kill him with an explosion, or drown him. But if you destroy his bike by crashing into it with a tank, the Love Juice will survive the explosion. If you try to pick up Mercedes in a vehicle with no passenger seats, the cutscene won't end, and you'll have to close the game and reopen it. Also, if you want to use a helicopter to pick her up, do so with extreme caution, because the helicopter might not land properly, and when Mercedes opens the door, she might get crushed to death. Originally, at some point after passing this mission, you would have received an angry phone call from Mercedes.
Tommy?
Hey, Mercedes.
Hey, indeed, Mr. Tough Guy. I'm really angry with you, Tommy. Never make me hang out with Jess Torrance again. He's pathetic. Halfway through, he starts crying about his doggy. He dies when he's 7 years old and that his mommy never loved him. And Tommy, he wears a wig and a bra in private. I am not very happy with you. I'm very, very angry. Goodbye.
Moving on to Psycho Killer. Before you park in the pink marker at the signing event, you can find the Psycho in the crowd, but you'll fail the mission if you kill him. When you're chasing the Psycho, the mission won't fail if you destroy Love Fist's limo. After you drive past the fire station when chasing the Psycho, a trash master will come out of an alley. And who's driving this trash master? Mr. Nobody. We can't do the final Love Fist mission just yet, so we better do what the game says. The first mission for Mitch Baker is Alloy Wheels of Steel. Even if Tommy is wearing the cop uniform, Mitch will still say that he doesn't look like the law.
You don't look like the law, so that's bought you a minute.
Your opponent's bikes have better speed and handling when compared to ordinary bikes. Stealing one of these bikes will cause the race to start immediately. Unfortunately, you can't keep these bikes for long because the special features get removed when you store the bike in a garage. Originally, the bikers would have reacted depending on whether you win or lose the race.
Ha! Good riding, pal. You call yourself a biker? I call you a wimp.
Moving on to Messing with the Man. Normally, when you're standing outside the bar, the song that can be heard playing inside is Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes. But when Messing with the Man is unlocked, the song changes to Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne, which also plays during the mission's opening cutscene.
Got you again. Hey, Rossetti.
At one point during the opening cutscene, a man's head can be seen on the floor. Judging by the way he's walking, it looks like he's supposed to be a female character, but it's possible that Rockstar didn't have enough time to change the character model, so instead of deleting him altogether, they hid him under the floor, albeit not very well. An easy way to fill the chaos meter is by repeatedly shooting at vehicles until they blow up. One of the best weapons to use for this is the Uzi because it has a very high rate of fire, and an Uzi spawns under the stairs leading to the save icon. So you can collect the Uzi, save, go back down the stairs, and the Uzi will have come back, allowing you to farm Uzi ammo. During the mission, once you have 3 stars, keep shooting at the police helicopter with the Uzi. This will fill your chaos meter in no time. The final mission for Mitch is Hog Tied. Once this mission is unlocked, the song inside the bar changes again. This time too, You've Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest.
Mind your feet, pretty boy.
Hey there, Mitch. Well, if it ain't badass Rossetti.
Although the game tells you to use a bike to get onto the roof of ammunition, you can use any vehicle you like, including a helicopter. When the sharks spot you, they'll keep respawning infinitely, but it is actually possible to avoid being spotted. First, snipe the 2 sharks who are on the roof of ammunition, then snipe the other 2 sharks who are patrolling the compound behind ammunition. One is in the right hand area and the other is in the left hand area near the stairs. 2 more sharks are guarding Mitch's bike. When you kill one of them, the other one will run towards your position and will alert the gang if he spots you. Luckily, there is an adrenaline pill on the ammunition roof, which will make things easier. I also recommend using the laser sniper rifle because it has a higher rate of fire. However, even if you manage to get on the bike without being spotted, the sharks will still chase you in their vans. Lovefist's final mission is now unlocked, Publicity Tour. When we see Jez Torrent during cutscenes in this game, he's wearing a red headband. But during gameplay in Publicity Tour, his headband is gone.
At last, man, time for a well-earned drink. I would get plenty to drink. That's no vodka, that's Boomshine. I'm gonna play bass in hell.
Although Lovefist's bass player Willie can be heard speaking when you're driving the limo, there's no sign of him, even if you break all of the limo's doors and look inside. This is because Willie is the only member of the band who doesn't have a character model. He can only be seen on the game's artwork.
Shut it and pull a wire. Which wire? This one. No!
When Dick says, "Man, we're okay, we ain't been blown up," Lovefist have already removed the correct wire from the bomb, which means it should be defused at that point. But despite that, the bomb will still explode if you're driving too slowly.
Man, we're okay.
So you still need to wait for the bomb defused message to appear. After Willie asks,
"Have you finished with that ball?"
the radio will be automatically tuned to V-Rock, even if it was switched off beforehand. For the final cutscene, one big audio file is used, which contains all the voice clips, as well as the music and sound effects. However, in the folder which contains the game's audio files, you can find all of the individual voice clips, including Willie's ones without the echo effect.
Jez is running that kind of dip, so we thought we'd show you our Temple of Rock. Get a feel for the Lovefist fury.
Listen to yourself, man. It's paper mache and gaffer tape.
Hey, to the kids, it's a temple, and we are the priests.
Aye, well, if the kids like their priests half-cut and tone deaf, who am I to argue?
Oh, tape's getting chewed up again? It's right, we'll never get to play live.
Oh, shite. My bowels.
Aye, we gotta get on with it, so thanks again, Tommy. Give MC a nice one, bye.
There are 5 assassination missions to do in this game for a man known only as Mr. Black. His first mission is Roadkill. There's not much to say about this mission. If you destroy Carl's moped without killing him, he'll just run away and won't fight back if you attack him. He may eventually end up drowning himself. Moving on to Waste the Wife. Mrs. Dawson's car has a special locked feature. Fail the mission by doing a drive-by on her. This will make her get out and she'll leave the door open, allowing you to get in. Nobody will be able to pull you out, not even cops. However, when you get out of the car, make sure you leave the door open, otherwise you'll be locked out as well. But sadly, if you store this car in a garage, the locked feature will be taken away. You'll fail the mission if you use weapons, and that includes a tank's cannon. But if you ram her car with a tank, the mission will pass immediately, even though you're supposed to leave the area before she dies. This will also happen if she ends up in the water. Mrs. Dawson has quite a few voice clips. And and I found one which is unused.
Oh my god!
The third mission for Mr. Black is Autocide. All of the targets' names in this mission are references to video game characters. Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter, Tanner from the Driver series, Mark Hammond and Frank Carter from The Getaway, Nick Kang from True Crime Streets of LA, and Charlie Jolson, also from The Getaway. The Securicar that Dick Tanner drives is heavy, which means it can push other vehicles out of the way without slowing down. To steal it, just stand across the street from where he's parked and shoot him in the head. But unfortunately, this is another vehicle that loses its special feature when you store it in a garage. When you approach most of the targets in this mission, the game warns you not to get too close, otherwise they'll spot you. You're also warned not to get too close to Nick Kong, but even if you do so, he won't try to escape. Not even if you hijack his boat. The Bobcat in this mission is black and pinkish red. This colour for the Bobcat is not used at any other point in the game. Next up, check out at the check-in. Normally the security gates will stop you from taking your weapons inside the airport terminal, but if you get a vehicle that's tall enough, you can jump over the gates and use any weapon you like for this mission. When you're close enough to the target, the mission will fail if you fire a weapon. This will also happen if you throw grenades, even before they explode. On your way to ammunition, you'll get chased by these black admirals with gunners on the top. An easy way to steal them is by setting them on fire, which will make the driver get out and run away. These cars are also heavy and can push other vehicles out of the way without slowing down. But storing them in a garage will, once again, get rid of the heavy feature. During this mission, a helicopter can be found on the airport's helipad. This is the only time in the game in which a helicopter will spawn on this helipad. Mr. Black's fifth and final mission is Loose Ends. This is the only mission for Mr. Black in which he doesn't say taped under the phone.
Steal everyone involved. Steal the merchandise and take it to the helipad at the airport. There is a gate to your left that leads to the back of the factory.
It's also Mr. Black's only mission in which you don't need to kill anybody, even though he says, you can simply fly to the roof, grab the merchandise, and get the hell out of there. Now it's time to do the asset missions, starting with distribution for the ice cream factory. The game warns you that local gangs will not appreciate you doing business on their turf. That includes the security guards. Did you know that the amount of money that you earn for doing deals depends on where you are in the city? You get $6 if you're in Little Haiti and Little Havana, $8 for Vice Port and Leaf Links, $10 for the airport, $15 for Starfish Island, and $12 for everywhere else. By the way, at the end of the cutscene that plays when you buy the ice cream factory, the character models don't disappear straight away. This also happens if you skip the cutscene. Next up, Checkpoint Charlie for the boatyard. It can be assumed that the packages contain cocaine. There are two reasons for this. Charlie is a slang word for cocaine, and this mission is called Coke Run in the game's code. The packages have the same model as the hidden packages that you collect in GTA 3. If you get out of your boat and try to collect a package when you're on foot, only the package itself will disappear. To progress through the mission properly, you must not be on foot. Also, a different sound effect plays when you collect a package when you're on foot. Once the mission is passed, you have the option to play it 5 more times, but it will become increasingly difficult because you'll have less time and the weather will be affected. However, on the plus side, your cash reward is bigger. Moving on to the next asset property, which is Sunshine Autos. During the cutscene that plays when you buy Sunshine Autos, a Sabre Turbo drives past. And who's driving it? Mr. Nobody from Psycho Killer has made his reappearance. To complete this asset, you must deliver some wanted vehicles to this garage down here. There are 4 lists of wanted vehicles, but you only have to complete the first list to make the story progress. One of the vehicles on list 3 is the Cheetah, but you can deliver a police Cheetah instead. So does that mean you can deliver an FBI Washington instead of a regular Washington for list 2? The answer is no. Is it possible to deliver vehicles when you're on a mission? Well, some missions allow it. But others don't. I'm so confused. What happens if you try to deliver multiple vehicles at once? Only the last vehicle that you drove will get delivered. Also, you might recognise this machine inside the garage.
It's a Flangy 9000.
No, Cam, it's a Crouton 9000 computer, which can also be seen in Joey's garage in GTA 3, Michelle's garage and the mod shops in San Andreas, and Capital Autos in Liberty City Stories. And now we begin the missions for the Malibu Club, the first of which is No Escape. Even if you're wearing the cop outfit beforehand, Tommy's outfit will still automatically change back to the street outfit when you start No Escape. You'll get 4 stars if you try to enter the police station's restricted area without the cop uniform, but not right away. If you're quick enough, you can enter the restricted area and reach the pink marker which gives you the cop uniform. If done correctly, the cops at the front desk won't recognise you. If you equip a weapon inside the police station, you'll be told to put it away, and the cops will attack you if you refuse.
He's armed! Kill him! I'm trained!
But what happens if you use a mod to give yourself a camera? Does that count as a weapon?
Put the weapon away or face the consequences! He's armed! Kill him! You really want...
Whatever you do, don't go inside the police station with a wanted level, even if it's just 1 star. The police station will also go on alert if you bring a bike inside, even if you have the cop uniform. The keycard in this mission also appears in San Andreas. A scientist gives it to you in the mission Black Project, and it's also the pass card that you get from Millie for the casino heist. It also appears in the mission Kill Phil Part 2 in Vice City Stories. After busting Cam out, if you leave him behind, lose your wanted level and come back to the police station, your wanted level won't come back and the cops will have disappeared. Some more unused voice clips.
Can I help you, sir? There's an imposter! He's gone insane! Who the hell are you? Where's your badge? There they are! Shoot to kill!
Time to meet Phil Cassidy in the Shootist. When there's 1 minute left on the clock during the first round, Phil will comment on your performance so far.
You could hit a barn door!
There's also an unused voice clip.
This guy is a lunatic!
Don't kill this guy, otherwise the mission will fail. During the second and third rounds, you might recognise the pictures on the targets. Yep, it's artwork of characters from GTA 3, including Misty. At the end of a round, if there are any targets still in the shooting range, don't bother shooting them, because this won't affect your score. Once the mission is passed, a trophy will appear in the Ocean View Hotel. Next up is another notorious Vice City mission, the Driver. Similar to Publicity Tour, the audio files folder contains Hillary's individual voice clips that you hear during the second cutscene, but with no music and no sound effects.
You Tommy? Oh, of course you're Tommy. I mean, why else would anyone want to speak to me? Okay, consider it this way. I'll drive for you if, and only if, you can drive properly. Leave me alone, and I'll never forgive you.
You don't have to use the Sentinel for the race. Before starting this mission, you can leave a faster car outside the police station and quickly switch to it during the race. You can also grab the nearby PCJ 600, which is normally used for the PCJ Playground side mission, but be very careful not to fall off. Hillary's Sabre Turbo is bulletproof, fireproof and explosion-proof. Here's how to obtain it. First, buy the Ocean Heights apartment safe house in Ocean Beach, then get a tank and leave it here, facing east. Make your way back to the Malibu Club using only one vehicle, otherwise the tank will disappear. When the race begins, very quickly make your way back to your tank and use it to destroy Hillary's car by crashing into it. Then simply push it into your garage. Originally, Hillary would have said something if you lose the race.
I'm not driving for you, no way. I'm sharing this a group.
Now that we have a full team, it's time to pull off the bank heist in The Job. No matter what doors everybody uses to get in the taxi, their seats will always automatically change. Hillary sits next to Tommy, Phil sits behind Tommy, and Cam sits behind Hillary. On your way to the bank, damaging the taxi will trigger some additional dialogue.
Hey, watch the wheels, Tommy! The car's ruined! Ruined!
You cling to an illusion of permanence. What? You think all things will last. Youth, loved ones, pizza. All will pass or end, and you must accept that.
You're right. Thanks, Cam.
Don't mention it.
When you get to the bank, Tommy tells Hillary to keep driving around the block. He actually drives all over the city. After you change into the bank job outfit, make sure you don't go back onto the streets, otherwise this will happen. When you're inside the bank, you can interact with the CCTV monitors near the manager's office. Although there are 12 monitors, you only get to see 6 different camera angles. 2 in the foyer, 1 at the elevator, 1 in the manager's office, and 2 at the vault. If you kill 3 hostages, the remaining ones will attack you and you'll get 3 stars. Not only that, but Phil will start following you as well as Cam. However, they seem to have an awful habit of deliberately shooting each other, so I would avoid doing this until Cam is at the vault. If you make Phil follow you, the voice clips will still play, because the game thinks Phil is still watching over the hostages, even if they're all dead.
I said nobody move! Stay here. You try anything and you're dead. I'm gonna check on Phil. I'll be right back.
Also, you'll have to kill the guard who sets off the alarm, because Phil won't do it if he's following you.
I told you not to touch that alarm! The SWAT team will be here any minute.
During the SWAT raid, Phil says that's the last of them, even though there are still a couple of SWAT officers alive upstairs. Looks like Phil hit the Boomshine before this mission. Once the vault is open, you can kill Cam without failing the mission. He'll drop a case that you must pick up, otherwise you won't be able to leave the bank. Cam's death will also trigger slightly different dialogue outside the bank.
Where's Cam? History. Death. Where's Hillary? I'll give him abandonment issues.
And at the end of the mission as well. Tommy and Phil claim that they'll get more money because of Cam's death.
Cam didn't make it. He was a good guy. Yeah, still, more for us. Damn straight!
But this mission's cash reward is always the same, regardless of Cam's fate.
What I tell you, Tommy? What I tell you? Ben Swat better watch out when Ken Paul is in town.
Have you ever wondered what Kent Paul is talking about at the end of the mission? Well, there's an unused phone conversation which explains everything.
Hey there, Tommy, you're gonna love me, mates. A little birdie told me that Vice City SWAT Division has a deposit box at a certain rather large banking establishment where they keep all the bribes they've taken over the years, like some kind of old boys' retirement fund. Of course, if this information should ever help you acquire any of that cash, I guess you'd feel obliged to push some of it my way.
I'll bear that in mind. Thanks, Kent.
It's Paul. I'm from Kent, near London, you prats.
Whatever you say, Kent.
Speaking of cut content, this mission has a lot of unused voice clips.
Phil, things still sweet?
Give me 3 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 8 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Tommy, the vault is open. I'll give him abandonment issues.
Crap, now the cops are onto us. And we're not even there yet.
Yeah, and you'll put somebody's eye out.
We'll have to lose the cops first. Wait here and keep the engine running.
Hot damn! Here they come! Use explosives to open the deposit boxes.
Take cover! I've got our asses covered! Drive!
New threads? You need more than that, pal. Hillary, you go find another car. We better go find him. Phil, where the... Damn it. Now where's Hillary gone? Where's Cam? Cam, how long? Cam, how long?
Once the mission is passed, you can revisit the bank and steal $1,000 from the manager's office, but you'll get 4 stars and you can't access the vault anymore. The bank job outfit isn't the only thing that gets delivered to the Malibu Club once the mission is passed. A knife gets delivered there too. This has to be a reference to the Friday the 13th horror movies. Last but not least, passing the mission will cause a hockey mask to appear in the Ocean View Hotel, and gun brochures will appear on the desk in Tommy's mansion. We can now do 2 missions for Phil Cassidy. The first one is Gunrunner. The Mexican gunrunner mentioned by Phil is named Pedro Garcia. His name is never mentioned in the game, but it was shown on the game's official Flash website. In the opening cutscene, the wheel rims on Phil's Walton look different to the ones that you see during gameplay. This is another mission with a bonus cash opportunity. Each time you kill the enemies on the Fagios, you get $100. Phil's second mission is Boomshine Saigon. In the opening cutscene, Phil's entire right arm is blown off, but during gameplay his right arm has come back and his left arm has been reduced to a stump with a bone sticking out. The bomb that you see during the opening cutscene is also used in the mission Explosive Situation in San Andreas. Once the mission is passed, you get a phone call from Phil. There's also an unused phone call in which he talks about losing his arm.
Tommy, the wound is healing well. Funny thing is, I have fought in 6 battle zones and always walked away without a scratch. And now this, one-armed Phil. Still, I got me a healthy selection of one-handed firepower, so I'll never be unarmed Phil. You hear? Anyway, son, cut out the sentimental crap and go buy yourself a drink. You hear?
I'm not sure if that was meant to be the original call that you'd get after passing Boomshine Saigon, or if you would have received it after completing the story. Either way, it's definitely unused. Some Boomshine barrels will be delivered to the Ocean View Hotel once the mission is passed. The next asset property is Kaufman Cabs, and the first mission is V.I.P. You must be in a Kaufman cab when you go to pick up the V.I.P on Starfish Island, But once the cutscene has finished playing, you can switch to almost any vehicle you like. And the reason I say almost any vehicle is because the mission will fail if you steal the rival taxi and use it to take the V.I.P to the airport. However, that doesn't happen if you use any other taxi. For some reason, the pink arrow above the V.I.P's head is not spinning and bouncing. Next up, friendly rivalry. Although you must be in a Kaufman cab to start this mission, you can then get out of the cab and use any vehicle you like. You only need to destroy the cabs, not kill the drivers. If you manage to hijack one of the cabs, the driver will run away and won't fight back. There are some unused voice clips for Doris, the Kaufman cab's dispatcher.
Go on, Tommy! Beat the hell out of him! He hasn't even got a license! Damn limousines!
Last up for Kaufman cabs is Cabmaggedon. Although the game instructs you to stay alive until the timer runs out, you can make the next part of the mission trigger early by destroying all the taxis. Quickly drive to the southeast corner of the compound, then quickly get out, hide behind the containers, and use your weapons to destroy them from there. If you manage to hijack one of the taxis, the driver will, once again, run away and won't fight back. VC Cabs' leader has an unused voice clip.
Hey boy, I'm gonna tan your hide!
Once the mission is passed, you'll no longer hear the regular radio when you're in a Kaufman cab. Instead, you'll hear radio chatter between Doris and the cab drivers.
Doris, could you please call in the cops? The guy just tried to sideswipe me!
What do you think this is? The gentlemanly sport of taxi driving? Kill him! Kill him! I got a pickup near Prawn Island.
I smell something fishy. Get it, Doris? Fishy, huh?
31, you still out there? Mrs. Perkins wants a ride to the beach.
You can tell Mrs. Perkins to go eat shit!
Now let's begin the missions for the film studio. The first one is Recruitment Drive. No matter how far away you go from Candy's pimp, it doesn't seem to be possible to fail the mission by losing him. Throughout the chase, enemies will spawn infinitely inside the pimp's car. If you destroy the pimp's car without killing him, he'll steal another vehicle and his goons will spawn infinitely inside that vehicle too. When Candy is in your vehicle, damaging it will trigger some additional voice clips.
Tommy, be careful. My implants aren't insured yet. I can't do porno after this. You call that driving? What are you trying to kill me? I thought I was the star.
Originally, at some point after passing this mission, you would have received a phone call from Mercedes thanking you for helping her become an actress. There's no audio anywhere, but the lines can be found in the game's text files. Recruitment Drive is also the name of a mission in GTA Chinatown Wars. Moving on to Dildo Dodo. If the skimmer runs out of fuel, it'll explode. When you get out of the skimmer, a message appears on screen saying, "You have 30 seconds to return to a skimmer before the mission ends." Given that it says a skimmer and not the skimmer, I wondered what would happen if I used a mod to get in a different skimmer. Let's see. Nothing happens, which means you must use the skimmer provided. And now for Martha's mugshot. If you set Candy's stretch on fire, the driver will get out and run away, allowing you to get in. But just like the cars in Trojan Voodoo, once Candy gets in the stretch, it will drive itself to the destination. However, it is actually possible to drive the stretch yourself. Once Candy gets in, hold down the exit vehicle button to get out, which will make the stretch stop. Make sure you leave the door open, otherwise it won't work. When you get back in the stretch, then you'll be able to drive it yourself, which speeds things up. And even though Candy automatically gets out, the game will still think she's been dropped off when you get to her destination. There's no sign of Candy during the first part of the cutscene, but don't worry, she will appear on the roof.
Hey!
As mentioned, make sure you leave the door open when you get out of the stretch, otherwise you'll be locked out and you'll have to restart the mission. Unless, of course, you're willing to push the stretch all the way to Candy's destination. By the way, don't kill the driver, otherwise you'll fail the mission, but the wrong message appears at the bottom of the screen. If you decide to follow the stretch, after Candy's been dropped off, if you go past the Malibu Club, you'll find the stretch parked on the road. At this point, killing the driver will not fail the mission. If you want to store this gold stretch in your garage, remember to keep its door open if you get out beforehand, otherwise you won't be able to get back in. But unlike Mrs. Dawson's car from Waste the Wife, people can still pull you out. After being stored in a garage, the stretch's locked feature will be gone. There's an easier and safer way to do this mission. If you have a helicopter like the Sparrow, which is provided at the start, you can land on the ledge outside the WK Chariot Hotel and take the photos from there. By doing this, you won't have to fight your way out of the hotel, and you can return to the film studio more safely. Before you take the photos, don't fly too close to Candy and Alex, otherwise you'll fail the mission. Once the mission is passed, the WK Chariot Hotel's side door will stay open. Also, some raunchy photos and a poster will appear in the office in Tommy's mansion. The fourth and final film studio mission is G-Spotlight. You don't have to use a bike to hit the rooftop checkpoints. You can get off your bike and use a helicopter instead. Is it possible to use a moped to complete the run? I tried this myself, and it turns out the answer is yes, as long as you keep leaning forward to increase your speed. By the way, if you bring a moped to the elevator, Tommy won't ride all the way inside the elevator, and its doors will close on him. Once the mission is passed, the office building's elevator can be accessed from now on, but this time there's no cutscene, and you don't need to use a bike. Also, 2 posters for Candy's movies will appear in the Ocean View Hotel, and rubbish will appear in Tommy's mansion. Nearly done with the asset properties, the next one is the Pole Position Club. To complete this asset, you must spend a total of $300 in the private dance room. You spend $5 for every 5 real-time seconds that you spend in the room, but you can speed this up by entering and exiting the room over and over again, because you also spend $5 each time you enter. For every $100 that you spend, the stripper changes, but you'll only see these changes if you exit the room and go back in. Once this asset is completed, another private room is unlocked. If you enter this one, you'll be treated to a special cutscene. The final asset property is the Printworks. The first mission is Spilling the Beans. This mission has some unused voice clips.
Someone's on the ship. Attack him! He's come on board! Protect the shipping officer!
Like Hog Tied, you can be stealthy during this mission. Use a helicopter to fly to the roof of a building, then snipe all the guards out front. If done correctly, you'll be able to reach the pink marker on the ship without setting off the alarm. However, once you've got the information, the alarm goes off anyway, and the guards will respawn infinitely. Luckily, you don't need to fight your way out. Just jump off the ship and you'll survive the fall. Well, as long as you have enough health and armour. The second and final Printworks mission is Hit the Courier. In the opening cutscene, Lance says,
"Me and the boys will be around in the neighborhood in case you need any heat taken care of."
But that doesn't happen at all, which could be another sign that Lance is going to betray Tommy later in the story. This mission has an unused monologue.
As soon as we're ready, I can send the fake crap up north.
There's also an unused voice clip for one of the enemies.
Protect the courier!
Some of the enemies in this mission have sniper rifles. Once you've picked up the plates, if you try to escape in the courier's helicopter, some of the snipers will start using shotguns instead. Before the courier arrives at the docks, if you destroy the black sentinel that she drives, the helicopter will fly away and the mission will fail. You'll also fail the mission if the courier gets to this building just north of Kaufman Cabs in Little Haiti. This building is guarded by 4 women with shotguns and can only be accessed during this mission. As you saw, the doors close when the courier goes inside, so what happens if you're inside the building when she arrives? Do you get trapped? No, but she will shoot you. You'll fail the mission if you destroy the courier's vehicle when she's inside it, even if you crash into it with a tank, unlike Love Juice. But if you kill her with an explosion when she's on foot, the plates will survive. When you kill the courier, the helicopter pilot will grab the plates. Sometimes you'll fail the mission if you shoot the pilot in the head when she's driving the car, and the game will accuse you of destroying the plates. Once the mission is passed, a bag full of money will appear on the bed in the Ocean View Hotel. The penultimate story mission is now available, Cap the Collector. This is another mission with an unused monologue.
Bullying an old man? Who does this wise guy mob asshole think he is?
Although the Pole Position Club is an asset property that generates revenue, the Mafia will never tax it. Tommy and the Mafia can be heard threatening each other when they're fighting.
You tell Sonny, stay away! It's the Hardwood Butcher. My city is mine now, not his! You're gonna die this city. You know the rules for city. Mr. Forelli sends his regards. We'll keep coming after you until you die, the city. You don't stand a chance, you psychotic freak. Think you could take me down for city? I'll murder you for city. You always wear a jersey.
There are meant to be subtitles, but they never seem to appear on the screen. They don't even appear in the brief menu. The ghost bike glitch occurs during this mission. If you kill the driver of a Sanchez, but not the passenger, the bike will keep on driving by itself, and it will keep doing that even when you do kill the passenger. And now, on to the final story mission, Keep Your Friends Close. You won't be able to start this mission if you only have $1,000 or less. In the first cutscene, Tommy tells Ken to put $20 million into cases, but the subtitles say $3 million.
Ken, you get the first run of counterfeit cash and put 20 mil in briefcases.
In the next cutscene, both Tommy and the subtitles say $3 million.
There's 3 mil in the cases.
As soon as the mission begins, if you quickly run out of the office and stand completely still just outside the office entrance, the Mafia won't spawn until Lance shows up.
No one to cover your ass now, eh, Tommy? You're going down, you backstabbing prick. Oh, you think so?
If you leave the mansion and make your way to the Sharks' turf in Vice Point and Prawn Island, you'll notice that the Sharks have been replaced by the Mafia. When Tommy confronts both Lance and Sonny during the cutscenes, he's holding a python, even if you have a pistol or no weapon in that slot.
Oh, you think so? Get him, boys. You never understood a thing.
If you have a heavy weapon like the minigun, you can kill Lance before he gets to the roof. If you fail this mission, the Vercetti gang members will have Tech 9s instead of pistols. Here are some unused voice clips for this mission.
Sonny's up with the safe and my money. Sonny! Sonny! I'm coming for you! Okay, boys, kill him!
Once the mission is passed, you'll receive a few phone calls, including one from Steve Scott thanking you for your help. Strangely, even if you haven't bought the film studio and therefore never met Steve, you'll still get this phone call. That's all the missions out of the way, and now it's time to cover the side missions, starting with the street races. To take part in the street races, you need to buy Sunshine Autos and then walk into a pink marker in front of this map down here. This is the beta map. Two of the highlighted routes on the map are incorrect. For Ocean Drive, the map shows that you need to drive past the Ocean Heights apartment safehouse and then past the Pole Position Club before turning left and heading up north. But in the actual race, you take the junction outside Maison Wenafol. And for VC Endurance, the map shows that you need to drive past the ships in Vice Port, but in the actual race, you take the first left after the race begins. Your opponent's cars are fireproof. They're also bulletproof, but only before and during the races. Now it's time for the 3 stadium events. The first one is Hotring. It's possible to stop your opponents from respawning properly. Simply park your car on the right hand side of the dark respawn area and then destroy all of your opponent's cars as they drive past. I recommend using the minigun for this. If done correctly, your opponents won't be able to respawn properly, allowing you to finish the race very easily. Don't bother trying to steal your opponent's cars by shooting the drivers out, because once you get in the cars, you won't be able to control them properly. Moving on to Bloodring. If your car gets flipped upside down, instead of getting destroyed, it'll get put back on all 4 wheels. But sometimes if you're unlucky, like me, your car will still get destroyed. You can destroy your opponent's cars to get some bonus cash. You only have to pass this mission once to get 100% completion, but each time you do pass it, the target time will increase by 1 minute. Passing the mission once will also make 2 Bloodring bangers spawn at the south side of the stadium, both the Oceanic variant and the Glendale variant. The arena used for this mission is identical to the one used for Blood Bowl in San Andreas. By the way, I might be overthinking, but I'm curious about what the announcer says in the background during this mission. His choice of words seemed to be more relevant to boxing or martial arts, so perhaps this mission originally involved hand-to-hand combat instead of vehicular combat. And now for Dirtring. This mission is called Kickstart in the game's code. Funnily enough, Kickstart is an actual side mission in San Andreas, and it's very similar to Dirtring. The Sanchez in this mission is bulletproof, fireproof, explosion-proof, and damage-proof. The only way to destroy it is by using the Destroy All Vehicles cheat, which fails the mission. Here's something else that fails the mission: waiting for the clock to hit 60 minutes. Your cash reward will depend on how fast you collect all the checkpoints. $50,000 for under 5 minutes, $10,000 for between 5 and 10 minutes, and $5,000 for over 10 minutes. However, there's a trick which allows you to get the $50,000 reward very easily, and it involves bringing your own Sanchez into the arena. Park your Sanchez right in front of the open stadium doors, then get off to trigger the mission and very quickly get back on the Sanchez. If done correctly, your own Sanchez will now be in the arena and the clock won't start until you get on the provided Sanchez, so you can use your own Sanchez to take as long as you need to collect the checkpoints and get the highest cash reward. The only downside is your own Sanchez isn't damage proof, so be careful. Once you have all the checkpoints, you must get on the provided Sanchez to pass the mission. By the way, don't bother taking a PCJ into the arena, because you can only collect the checkpoints with a Sanchez. Once you've passed Hotring, Bloodring and Dirtring, 3 trophies will be delivered to Tommy's mansion. The next side mission is Cone Crazy. Whenever you beat your fastest time in this mission, your cash reward is doubled. This is an excellent way to earn a huge amount of money at the start of the game. However, the amount of time that gets added to the clock when you collect a checkpoint will decrease by 1 second whenever you beat your fastest time, until it's down to 6 seconds per checkpoint. By very gently pushing the cones out of the way, you can achieve an even lower time. Moving on to PCJ Playground. Unique stunt jumps are disabled during this mission. If you start this mission by mistake, there's a very quick and easy way to cancel it. Simply get off the PCJ and then get in a different vehicle. Moving on to the RC side missions, starting with RC Raider Pickup. In my first mission facts video, I said that the helicopter used in this mission is just a green version of the one in Demolition Man. Well, that's actually not completely true. Yes, both helicopters have the same model, but they are actually different vehicles. The red one in Demolition Man is the RC Goblin, and the one in this mission is the RC Raider, hence the title. Whoops. Both helicopters also handle differently, with the Raider having much more sensitive handling. If you fail this mission by destroying the helicopter, a message appears on screen saying the vehicle is wrecked. That doesn't happen in the other RC side missions. Believe it or not, it's possible to get in the RC Raider instead of just controlling it remotely. Here's how to do it. Get a cop car, knock the driver door off, park the car near a save icon, get out, push the car so that the save icon is in the same place as where the driver door used to be, and get in the driver's seat. If the car is in the right place, you'll get in the car and collect the save icon at the same time. As you're getting in the car, press the Vigilante mission button a few times in quick succession. If done correctly, you'll start Vigilante, but the game will think you're actually not on a mission because the save icon will come back. This might take a few tries, but once Vigilante is running with the save icon present, you can now have 2 missions running at the same time. The next step is to start a rampage. When the rampage begins, get back in the cop car and cancel Vigilante. Once again, the game will now think you're not on a mission, even though there's a rampage in progress. Now start RC Raider pickup, move the Raider away from the van, and wait for the rampage timer to run out. Once the time is up, another instance of RC Raider pickup will trigger, so you'll have 2 instances of the same mission running at the same time. What you need to do now is use the environment to destroy the second Raider, but be very careful because you'll still be controlling the other Raider at the same time. The reason you need to destroy the Raider in this way is because if you press the fire button to detonate the Raider, the other one will detonate as well. Once the second Raider is destroyed, the mission will end and you'll be able to get out of the van. The first Raider will still be here, and this is the one you'll be getting in. You'll notice that you're still controlling the Raider remotely. When you're on foot, press the sprint button to make the Raider go up, the jump button to make it go down, and the change weapon buttons to make it rotate. What you need to do now is very carefully move the Raider to a very tight spot so that both of its sides are blocked. The reason for this is because if you try to get in it like any other vehicle, Tommy will keep moving around aimlessly because there are no doors to open. So the only way to get in the Raider is by teleporting into it, which can be accomplished if both of its sides are blocked and by pressing the enter vehicle button when you're standing in front of it. And there you go. There are a few more important things to note about this. Before you teleport into the Raider for the first time, don't press the fire button, otherwise the game will crash. The game will also crash if you try to get out of the Raider without blocking its sides. So if you want to get out, you must teleport out. And be very careful because it's possible to get killed by the blades. Last but not least, you don't need to store it in a garage because no matter how far away you go and no matter how many other vehicles you enter, the Raider won't disappear. Even saving and reloading won't make it disappear. Speaking of garages, the only way to repair it is by using a paint spray. Safe house garages won't repair it. And now for RC Baron Race. Like the previous mission, it's possible to get in the Baron, and the strategy for doing this is identical to the strategy for the Raider. Once you're in the Baron, sometimes the game will crash if you try to get out and in when only one side is blocked, but sometimes it doesn't crash. However, to be safe, I recommend blocking both sides before trying to get in and out. As with the Raider, don't press the fire button before teleporting into the Baron for the first time, otherwise the game will crash. Also, the Baron won't disappear, not even if you save and reload. And you must use a paint spray if you want to repair it. Next up, RC Bandit Race. In this mission, the weather is always scripted to be sunny, and the time will always change to 10 AM. This doesn't happen in the other RC side missions. In the game's code, the other 2 RC side missions are called RC Heli and RC Plane. So does that mean RC Bandit Race is called RC Car? No, it's called RC Race. Is it possible to get in the Bandit? Well, I know it can be done on the PS2 version, but I'm not sure about PC, because whenever I try to get in it on PC, the game keeps crashing, or Tommy simply won't teleport into it. However, check the video description for the link to the PS2 video guide. Get on the Sanchez at the dirt track in downtown to trigger Trial by Dirt. Once this mission is passed, you can keep replaying it to try and beat your fastest time, but it will become increasingly difficult. You'll have to deal with explosive barrels, rain, and gang members with machetes. By the way, these guys chase you on unique black Sanchez's. Strangely, if you complete this mission before Test Track, your time won't appear in the stats. Not only that, but if you complete Trial by Dirt after Test Track, your fastest time for Test Track will also be listed as your fastest time for Trial by Dirt. Getting the Landstalker at the dirt track to trigger, yep, you guessed it, Test Track. Just like Trial by Dirt, you can keep replaying this mission to try and beat your fastest time, and things also get increasingly difficult. There will be explosive barrels, and you'll be chased by a security guard in a unique black rancher who tries to pull you out of your Landstalker.
Okay, if that's what you want.
According to the game's code, the weather is supposed to be rainy after beating your first record, like in Trial by Dirt, but it doesn't work in Test Track for some reason. Next up, the chopper checkpoints. There are 4 of these missions in the game. They can be found in Ocean Beach, Vice Point, Little Haiti, and Downtown. The first 3 are unlocked once you've passed Rubout, but the one in Downtown doesn't get unlocked until you've passed G Spotlight. However, you can play the Downtown one early by simply landing another Sparrow exactly where the usual Sparrow would spawn. It must be a regular Sparrow, not a Sea Sparrow. Chopper Checkpoint is also the name of a race in San Andreas. It also involves collecting checkpoints as fast as you can, but your helicopter is a Maverick, not a Sparrow. Time to revisit the shooting range for the Shooting Range Challenge. Although the score to beat in this mission is 30 points, you must score at least 45 points to get 100% completion, which will also give you the ability to reload your weapons faster. According to the game's code, the mission will fail if you leave the shooting range, just like in the Shootist. But in this mission, it's not even possible to leave the shooting range because you can't move until Mission Failed or Mission Passed appears on the screen. The announcer is supposed to say Area Clear when the mission is over, but you don't hear it. If you pause the game and go to the brief menu, the Area Clear subtitle will be there. Once you pass the Shootist, your score will appear in the stats. If you manage to get a better score in the Shooting Range Challenge, your score in the stats will be updated. But how is it possible to do that, I hear you ask? I know you're thinking, in the Shootist you must score at least 61 points to pass the mission, and in the Shooting Range Challenge you only have 100 bullets, which means if you only shoot the target which gives you 3 points, you can only score a total of 60 points. Well, there is a way to give yourself more ammo. First get a Python or 357, then lure a cop into the shooting range, kill him, and just pray that his pistol is dropped exactly where Tommy is standing during the challenge, which means you will automatically pick it up when the challenge begins. Before starting the run, I quickly checked the stats to show that I got 61 points during the Shootist. And there you go. And I also didn't know that your score isn't updated until the mission is passed. Moving on to Taxi Driver. In GTA 3, there's a glitch which allows you to do Taxi Driver in any vehicle. When you're in a cab, keep the look behind button held down, and at the same time get out of the cab and get in a different vehicle. If done correctly, you will now be able to do Taxi Driver in the different vehicle. Unfortunately, this glitch doesn't work in Vice City. If you start the mission and then switch to a different vehicle while holding down the look behind button, it still doesn't work because the mission ends when you get in the other vehicle, even if it's a cab. Moving on to Paramedic. If a cop drags a patient out of the front passenger seat, the other patients will automatically get out and run away the next time you stop. Not only that, but damaging the ambulance will still cause the timer to decrease. The game will still think the patients have been rescued when you get to the hospital, and the people saved in an ambulance stat will still increase. I would avoid doing this mission in the main land because the patients can sometimes spawn in hard to reach places, such as the top of the stadium steps. And now for Vigilante. At the start of a level, if you pause the game and go to the brief menu, you'll see subtitles which tell you where the suspects were last seen. These subtitles are supposed to appear at the bottom of the screen when you start a new level, but they get overwritten by the level number subtitle. The level number matches the number of criminals that you have to kill, but once you get to level 12, you only have to kill 12 criminals in all subsequent levels. And now for Firefighter. Although this mission is called Firefighter, the game calls it Fire Truck on a few occasions, specifically when you get in a fire truck, when you start a new level, when you complete the mission, and in the stats. Oh, and it's called Fire Truck in the game's code. Most of the burning vehicles are parked, but the one in level 4 is always on the move until you put out the flames. Just like Vigilante, the level number matches the number of fires that you need to extinguish, but once you get to level 12, you'll only have to extinguish 12 fires in all subsequent levels. If you cancel the mission, all the vehicles in that level will explode, and all the burning people will be instantly decapitated. And finally, the Pizza Boy mission. Throwing a pizza is done by doing a drive-by. Simply look left or right and then press the fire button to throw. Strangely, if you press the fire button when looking behind, you'll still throw a pizza. Annoyingly, if you mistime your throw, the customers sometimes don't make a run for their pizza. However, you can rectify this by simply getting off the bike and using Tommy's body to push the pizza towards the customer, which saves you from having to go back to the restaurant to get more pizzas. Once the mission is passed, a couple of pizza boxes will appear in the living room in Tommy's mansion. Also, according to the game's code, a Pizza Boy moped is meant to spawn outside the mansion once the mission is passed, specifically to the left of the garage, but for some reason it doesn't. Unlike all the other side missions in this game, the Pizza Boy mission cannot be replayed once you've passed it. And we've finally reached the end. As you can imagine, this video took quite some time to put together, but it was a lot of fun to do so. Hope you enjoyed, thank you so much for watching, and stay solid.